We're live. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Vixen After Dark. Thank you so much for staying tuned in, tapped in, and turned on. I'm your host, Tisha. If you guys have not already joined the fam, please make sure you go ahead and smash the subscribe button, click the button next to it. Dink, that way you guys are notified every time I go live. So today's video is going to be really short, guys. I should have came on earlier. That's my bad. But, look at the birds chirping. So it's going to be short, quick, and sweet. That way you guys are just kind of notified and updated as far as what you've probably been already feeling, as far as the energy that's playing out. We have the moon in Capricorn right now. So if you guys are new here, I do timestamps that way you guys can refer back to the video. And also right now we're in the intro and announcements. You guys can find me at vixenafterdark.com. If you guys want a personalized reading from me, you guys can click on there and see what you want. Everything's in the description box down below. So let's go ahead and kick it. So I may not do a spread today, you guys. I'll probably do it tomorrow, I swear. But I'll do one tomorrow. If you want your personal, like I said, go to my website. But as far as the collective energy, let's go. You hear this bird? I got the message, thanks. He's literally like right there. He's gonna make himself known. Anyways, hopefully you guys can hear me. So I'm gonna talk about moon in Capricorn, the positive, the negative, you know, I always go through that. And also if you have moon in Capricorn, if you already had that in your natal chart, and then you want to make sure that you know your rising sign. That way you can see where the moon is transiting. Like for me, I always, like whenever planets move, I always print my thing out. So mine's transiting in my first house. Eek! Okay? Anytime the moon moves, I reprint out a whole nother thing. Thank you! I got the message, bro. Okay, so, you want to make sure that you know that. I'm going to go through all houses 1 through 12. That way you can kind of look for the negative and the positive wherever it's transiting for yourself. Just to give you a little synopsis, okay? So pretty much, moon in Capricorn, right? We all know Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. So we already kind of know the energy that we're in right now. We're in trouble. We already have the moon in Sag. Oh, we got to go through moon in Capricorn after that. Eek! So you've probably been feeling, especially with the aspects that are playing out right now, which I'll talk about too. I'll probably bring up a couple of them. But come on. Capricorn's ruled by Saturn. It also rules the 10th house of career, public image, things of that nature. It's known as the sea goat. It's a cardinal feminine energy. And it's an earth sign. So we all know that. So pretty much if you already know that, you know, Saturn vibes of the moon, it's not favorable in this position when it's in Capricorn. And right now it's at 21 degrees. So probably tomorrow, like mid tomorrow, it'll then go into Aquarius right after that, and I'll also do a video. But is it tomorrow? Tomorrow or the next day? What's today? Tuesday is Mars Day, so Wednesday. Yeah, let me pull up the moon calendar. But so pretty much for the most part, we all know this is not favorable for the moon to be in. And the reason being is because you got to really think. It's difficult for, if you know a Capricorn moon, it's so hard for them to even express their emotions. I'm going to talk about Capricorn moon energy if you have that already. So it's kind of like we're all forcing a reaction and a response out of everything right now. And depending on where it's in your house, that's what you're going to be reacting and responding to as far as you personally. So make sure you know where that's at. Let me pull up the moon chart here. What's up, Jax? So it's gonna, it says 8:42, but I don't know what time it's basing off of. It's gonna go into Aquarius probably tomorrow. I'm thinking like midday, it always happens. So midday it'll go into Aquarius. So right before, it's kind of like, like I said, it's a forcing kind of an energy. So let's talk about, you know, the positives first. This energy, moon in Capricorn, can have you feeling really ambitious. You may want to get you're like very determined possibly to get things done, especially if you're working on things right now. So a lot of people are probably like me, I'm not feeling this vibe. You know what I'm saying? So I transmit the energy, and that's why I'm going to be on here real short because I got stuff to do. So you know, so lots of discipline and control. Remember, think of everything. Saturn is the ruler, so it's all about like being structured, sticking to a schedule, you know, time management, gaining good habits and things of that nature. So anything, like think of anything Saturn like, being responsible right now, like forcing us. Like if you were probably, when you went to work, you probably didn't want to go to work. You know what I'm saying? If you're forced to do an activity or some sort of you really didn't want to participate in, it's going to show. Moon in Capricorn. So when you're there, you're going to try and find a way to make yourself feel a little bit better about whatever it is that you're tapping into, whatever you're participating in, because the moon is not happy right now being in the sign of Capricorn. It's not favorable whatsoever. So us being responsible, some people don't want to be responsible, some people do, you know, this, so like I said, this can be a positive for most, and some it's not so favorable. So it's going to show, and you already know. You know, people that take their commitments really serious during this time, and the moon's in Capricorn, you could have woke up and like, okay, I got to get this done. I got to mail these letters out. I got to do this. Like you could have been really like on the go as far as that. Dang, Jax, you just messed up my whole screen. So, you know, everyone, like I said, people can take their commitments very serious right now at this time. You know, enough to really like follow through and get things done, you know, as far as whatever you got going on for yourself. It's Tuesday, it's the beginning of the week, it was just Monday, we just had the full moon, so you know, it's kind of like, okay, let me nip this in the bud, let me get the things done. So you can use this energy to your advantage right now and really focus on finding solutions right now at this time when the moon's in Capricorn. Okay, you can really utilize and see what kind of resources that you have around you. That way you can really achieve the things that you want to achieve, and maybe you can implement practical ways of getting your goals accomplished during this time, you know, like that's pretty much the energy as far as moon in Capricorn. I mean, you know, think of if you're in a negative situation or you're having a negative challenge, this is the energy where you can utilize that to strategize, because you're not in your emotions. So, because it's real hard for Capricorn to really, moon in Capricorn to express your emotions. So if you're not operating in your emotions, you know what I'm saying, it may be easier to have clearer goals, to really establish a practical plan for yourself as far as your endeavors, being very decisive when you're taking action, like knowing what you want to do, how you want to do it, where you want to go, you know, having like real tangible outcomes for yourself. So you can really use this energy to your advantage. Now, on the flip side of that, some people may, like I said, you may not want to get up and go to work. You might want to just nap city it all day and just sleep and not want to go and be there and be responsible. You know what I'm saying? Because it's that Saturn energy. So, even if you are in a relationship or a connection and they're like, let's say your girlfriend or boyfriend comes to you with some, you know, real sensitive, deep topic, you may not want to talk about that right now, moon in Capricorn. Like you may not want to be emotionally involved. Moon in Capricorn energy is like they're super reserved when it comes to their emotions. You know, they're very hesitant on how they express their feelings. They'll be the person that'll sit back and let you talk. So Moon and Capricorn people actually like people that actually talk to them. And they'll just sit there and be like, yeah, you're right. I feel you. Like they'll be like more of the one-worders and be more in agreement, like hoping that you say the storyline or you kind of find the words to make the sentences out and see if they agree with you or not, versus them having to do all of that kind of work. So, so they're very reluctant to, Jackson, leave her alone. Look at Moon in Capricorn. So they're very reluctant when it comes to even going outside of themselves to seek support, okay? You know, people don't want to right now communicate their feelings. They don't know how to do that in an effective way when the moon's in Capricorn right now. So you probably see people on social media just lashing out, or you go outside in the world and you're like, what the hell is going on? Leave her alone. Hold on. Jackson. Sorry, guys. So anyway, so also too, if you are working on something right now and you got things going on, the downfall to that is you could probably sweeping your emotions under the rug, and instead you can overwork, or you can be, and when you're working on something, you can be like, become like a perfectionist. Like you want it to be so perfect. You might drive yourself crazy just doing that. You know what I mean? Like doing something over and over and over again. And in the back end, you know, it may give you new ideas and stuff, but then you start overworking, and then you don't even take care of like, you know, any self-care routines. Like some of y'all probably woke up, didn't even take a shower before you went to work. Like it's that kind of an energy. Like You just neglect, especially when you're like chasing a bag. Like Capricorn moon will get a bag. So you know what I mean. Like you could just be resistant to doing things for yourself. Now, if you have a moon in Capricorn, like if you're already born like this, the reason why Capricorn moons are like this is because in their childhood, you probably, if you're a person moon in Capricorn, you're a person that probably went through some detrimental, like people transition in your younger years. You probably lived in poverty or some type of hardship in your childhood to where like it closed you off as far as your emotions. So, you know, but then again, on the flip side to that, it made you probably very ambitious, like you want to get things done. But you're the person, you'd be the type of person that would actually try and climb the ladder to success in a more quiet way, in a more secretive, like in the background kind of a cut. Like you make sure that you get all your stuff done, but nobody probably really would know because you would be more in the background of it if you had a moon in Capricorn. And it is known that they do say, like, if you have a Capricorn moon, you know, it takes them a really long time to reach a certain point in their life where they're consistently successful in a sense, but success is determined by each person. You know, like until they like really are on their feet and they're getting things going because of all the things that they went through. You know, it's kind of like a Capricorn moon might have been a person that, like, since they don't express their emotions, and what do? They look to vices and things of that nature to kind of cover up and may not do shadow work, you know, and all that stuff. So they just kind of hide their feelings in a sense, and they smother it with vices and things of that nature. So that's why it may take a Capricorn moon in their adult years. That's when they kind of get it together, and then they'll be able to kind of like maybe take care of their family and stuff like that, and be responsible. It's because of what happened in their younger years. We all have a story, right? But that's just, I'm talking Capricorn moon here. So, you know, but that's that energy that gives them that drive to stay committed, you know, and focus on their goals and really get responsible until they reach that success factor. That's why Capricorn moons can be very persistent. Like, you probably, like, even like this energy right now, you probably experience someone that like keeps texting or keeps calling you in a sense, but they may not have nothing to say. They just want to hear you breathe. They want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, you may get that. It's like an irritating thing. Like, people are going to be forcing to react and respond in a way they normally wouldn't, depending on where the moon is in their houses right now. So you have to understand that. But like I said, you know, Capricorn moons are determined. You probably determined to get the bag. Like I said, you know, take care of your family and things of that nature. And, you know, what else? It's like you just try and steer clear. Like Capricorn moons are like, you probably meet one and they're super shy at first. Like they're probably really shy. You know, they really steer clear of like expressing their emotions and how they feel. Like it's just not a thing for them. Like they have to get somebody, like you gotta really probably be around them for a long time or really get to know them before they just get vulnerable with you. Like it's a tough, that's why I said the moon doesn't like being in Capricorn. It's like, it's like a forcing, like, it's like you gotta like, what's the word I'm looking for? You gotta really like, I don't know, you just gotta like pluck it out of them. I don't know. So yeah, they steer clear of expressing their emotions pretty much for the most part. You gotta pry it out of them for them to spill the beans pretty much. But they have a good memory and, you know, pay attention to detail, Earth energy, Saturn energy. So, you know, so depending on the houses on where you have it at. So if you have Capricorn, if the moon is transiting in whatever house, or maybe you already were like this. You know what? Hey, go outside or something. You're being a butthole. See, even my cat's acting crazy. So pretty much for the most part, our first house, this is where mine's transiting at actually. So, you know, it's all about self and identity. So the positive part of this, you know, it can really bring in, like I said, self-discipline. You see, I'm on a schedule today. I'm like rolling. Normally I'd be here with y'all for 2 hours, but I got things going on. Jackson! Whew. See, he's really... sorry guys. So I got things going on. I'm an ambitious ass person. I'm transmuting the energy to do the things I want to do, things that I got to get done, being very practical. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much the first house vibe right there. Very organized nature. If you already had it like this, you've been like a person that's super organized, OCD status. That's just who you are. Like if you see certain things that are like on the table, they're not lined up. You want to kind of like line it up, or you want to organize. Okay, you want to like put everything like that Capricorn moon first house. So you've probably been like that your whole life and just really responsible. Like we need Capricorn moons that are like that kind of. Whoever has a Capricorn moon, like your mom or your dad or somebody in your family that's been telling you to do, they probably had a Capricorn moon. If they're always like trying to get you out of bed on time, to get to work, to go to school on time, whatever it was, they probably had a Capricorn moon. Or some planet ruled by Saturn. So, but on the negative side to that, if you have it transiting in your first house, be aware, you know, you could be very critical of yourself right now. You could really talk down on yourself and think negative thoughts and just really like put a lot of pressure on you to feel like, dang, I should have did this and I didn't do that. You know, so you got to be really careful, you know. And you probably don't even want to express your emotions. You probably don't want to talk about no emotional things. You probably don't want to have any emotional conversations with anybody. And funny, we have the sun in Gemini, so that's why it's like the clash of the titans in a sense. Sun in Gemini, moon in Capricorn, and you know, it's all about communication and networking. So it's like, you see how that could work and play out depending on houses. So yeah, you know, and it's really important that you use this energy to like just really drive yourself to whatever it is that you're going towards, so that you can feel successful or be successful or whatever it is that you want to do, and take care of yourself. Like self-care routine, don't forget, wash your face, brush your teeth, wash that ass, like make sure you do all of the things. But if you have it transiting your first house, you may not want to, you know, dive into anything like emotional in a sense. Like you might not want to be, you're not going to be so like, you know, normally you could be a person that's super open about expressing your emotions, and now you're kind of closed off. It's like, I want you to talk about how you feel. How do you feel? Like, you could be, you know what I mean? So anyways, let's move on to second house. If you have Capricorn transiting your second house, or if it's there, you know, our second house is all about our finances, things that we value. So, you know, this can be very positive in the second house because, it, you know, oh, you know what? We might have time for cards, you guys. I could probably, we might have time. Because I got my other deck here too. So we might have some time. FYI. Just so that you're aware. Because I also have, anyway, second house, sorry. So second house, we'll see though, because I'm kind of, second house, like I said, this can be about your finances and things of that nature. You know, value, the things that you value, the things that you possess, gifts and talents as well. So this can really enhance your financial stability right now. Like I said, you could be on it, making a plan for your future, for the week, for the weekend, like things that you want to tap into, things that you want to get done. You could have really, if you're at work or you have your own business, you could have a really strong work ethic right now at this time and really work towards things and be very dedicated to achieving whatever it is that you want to achieve. Let's say you're like, I set a goal, I'm going to make $200 a day. You know what I mean? You could really achieve that and be focused and be on it. As far as your financial forecast and your financial security. So you can really use this energy right now while the moon's still in Capricorn to do so, okay? Some people, you know, they might have a tendency to, there's that downside where you can be like materialistic, second house. You can be so focused on the bag that you forget about self-care, you forget about family, kids. You just forget everything you just like focus on everything external. What are you doing? Everything external. So you got to remember, money does give you options, but it's not everything. You know what I mean? So you got it's hard to pull a person out. If you're transiting through the second house, this could be kind of why. Like you might bring up like, oh, I found a way to, you might dive in to like figure out ways on how to invest in something right now, or another opportunity on how to. I gotta leave. So yeah, it's important to remember, you know, there's more to life than money and the things that you possess when you have this transit in your second house. If you have it transiting in your third house, communication, learning, ruled by Mercury, Gemini energy. So, you know, Sun's in Gemini right now. So you might be forced to, you know, be disciplined in an area. You might have to speak, or you might have to have a structured way on the way you, like, you might be working on maybe not cursing or something like that, you know, and then you might have to present something to somebody, or some form or fashion. Like, you might just have to figure out a different way on how you approach when you're conversing with other people, or you might be forced to have conversations, like I said, to be emotional. You don't want to. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said Sun and Gemini. And if you have it in the third house, you're going to be forced to have maybe some friends or family members or your lover or kids. You might not be, you might feel like you're not equipped. You know, you're going to be more on the logical side and less empathetic in a sense. So you might come off kind of harsh to a person that's emotional right now if it's in your third house. So because you're going to be more practical, you'll be more solution based. Instead of like your kid crying, I fell and I bumped my knee. You're like, come on, let's go get a Band-Aid. Get up. Like, you know what I mean? Instead of being like, oh my God, poor baby, are you okay? You know, no, it ain't going to be that. It's going to be like, find a solution. Let's solve this problem right now. More logical, right? So, like I said, if you have it in the third house, you may struggle to express your emotions. You're going to be that person that's more like sitting there, reserved, poker face, and just sitting there like, yeah. Like, you're not going to be super empathetic right now at this time. You might seem very cold or distant if it's transiting your third house. Fourth house, we all know fourth house is all about our home and our family, things of that nature. Cancer rules this. So Moon in Capricorn, you know, the moon rules Cancer. So the moon in Capricorn, the fourth house, can really bring on stability within your home. You know, you can really build, you can be responsible in the house, like getting the chores done, having dinner cooked and the dishes washed, getting all the laundry done, making sure everything's neat and straight around the house, things of that nature, or just anything that pertains to home or family. Like, just everyone kind of like, you're just probably in that domesticated kind of an energy, you know, or creating structure, like, you know, making sure all the chores are done on the list, like the kids got their stuff done, you got your daily activities, whatever it is that you got done, you know, things of that nature, like more of a structured environment, or trying to create that. Or you're just on the ball. Like, didn't I tell you to, you know what I mean, take out the trash? Like, the trash is tomorrow. So you might be more reserved as well, it being in the fourth house as far as emotions. And, you know, if you have sisters and brothers, or like I said, you have a lover, you're married, or you live with somebody, you might be just distant a little bit with family. Like, you might not want to hear their drama and what they got going on. You're just going to be like sitting there, maybe playing the video game or into something else, and like, you know what I mean? Like, you might not even want to focus on that, but it's good to find a balance, because sometimes you do need to be a listening ear for people and have active listening skills. You might not have to say much, but, you know, it's good to kind of still know what's going on versus acting like you ain't paying attention. So you got to find a balance when it's in your fourth house, because you remember Capricorn likes to kind of control stuff too. So, yeah, you might find ways to be a little bit more nurturing, a little bit more warm with your approach or delivery. What's in the fourth house? Fifth house, it's all about creativity and romance. So you got to recognize, you know, you can be very disciplined and towards the things that you want to create, your creative endeavors and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? You might find a good approach. Jackson, get in here. You might find like a more ambitious approach to getting stuff done right now. You know, this is fifth house also too, is romantic partnerships too. So you might, you know, find a nice gesture. You might, find a way to be patient with your partner, and, you know, you might go buy roses or something and surprise them or whatever. Like, you know what, I got you an outfit, I already got you flowers, because you know that they probably take 2 hours to get ready, and you had something scheduled at a certain time. You want to make sure they get ready on time. So you got the outfit, you got the roses, you buttered the biscuit, and now we can all go on time to whatever event it is. That's like fifth house stuff as far as the romantic partnerships. But, you know, very goal-oriented kind of energy. Like, you want to dive into your creative things. Now, on the flip side to that, you might be so serious about how you approach something, you know, as far as what it is that you got going on, that you might have your romantic partnership take a back seat and only care about what you got going on. You don't care about what anybody else got going on. You're creating something, or you're into your project, or whatever it is that you got going, so you can come across as low-key kind of selfish in a sense. So you got to find a way to like allow yourself to have a little bit of fun too, and not work yourself to the bone. You got to go out and have a little bit of fun, and you know, not be so emotionally distant, especially if you're around people. But if you ain't around anybody, I mean, who cares, right? Sixth house is all about work, you know, health, things of that nature. So the moon in Capricorn, you can really, this is like, it likes to be here. It's like work, discipline, doing things that you're, Jax, go around. Doing things that you're supposed to be doing, like all of your duties, responsibilities, and obligations. So, you know, like, you know, you meal plan for you probably planned out on Monday, you probably did meal planning throughout the whole week. Or you said, you know what, I'm not going to eat chocolate all week, or I'm going to take out sugar out of my diet or something. You probably set up a whole, like, plan as far as your health. I'm going to have smoothies, or I'm going to have a healthy choice. You know what, I'll just get a salad. Instead of maybe, like, I don't know, doing tequila, you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna have like a half a glass of wine. I'm not even gonna indulge tonight. Like, I don't even want it. You know what, I don't want that. Can I get a mocktail? Like, you know what I'm saying? You might like really do something like that as far as like sixth house stuff. So this is a person, like, if you were born with that, you probably really excel in life if you were born with your Capricorn moon in the sixth house. Like, for real. Like, these are the super organized people that get things done, end up probably even being millionaire or something like that. You know what I mean? Because they pay attention to detail and they stay consistent, always on time, never late. They're like 15 minutes early to everything. So the negative side to that is the overworking, you know, right? Neglecting self-care. You're all about the bag, but you forget everything else. So you got to find a balance between professional responsibilities and then taking care of your physical and, of course, your health, right? If you want to live this lavish lifestyle that you got built for yourself, you got to make sure your health is okay. So seventh house. Oh my God, I gotta go. I'm cutting it close. Seventh house. So this is all about partnerships, relationships. So pretty much, you know, the positive side to this will allow you to find some type of responsibility or stability within your partnerships, like doing what your partner asks of you instead of you doing it 10 years later. You might even be attracted to people that are like you in the same accord if you're born with that, like people that are independent, okay, you know, and have like a really strong work ethic. But this is where the struggle with emotional intimacy comes into play, though. If you are kind of born with that, you know what I'm saying, already, it might be hard for you to be attracted to people. It's like you may be attracted to people that are just reserved just as you are, you know, that don't really have emotions. It's more like a surface connection in a sense. So you got to find a balance with that. Eighth house, transformation and intimacy. So this can really bring lots of discipline and structure within the connection here, because intimate connections, you know what I'm saying? But you can also really transform your life if you were born with this already. But you had probably lots of transformations in your life, like lots of personal growth in achieving whatever goals that you wanted. This is a person that did some shadow work, probably really like dug deep and figured out why everything happened, and they said, screw that, I'm gonna make my life better. Like, I went from the hood and now I'm in the suburbs, kind of an energy. So the negative side to this is where someone can be, you can be like, if it's transiting, you can be resistant to any type of change that's going on and you might be trying to control the outcome versus kind of going with the current. So you got to kind of be careful when it's transiting during this house. So you got to embrace the transformation, embrace the changes, because we got a lot of planets in Uranus right now. I mean, in Taurus. Ninth house, philosophy and higher learning, right? Higher education. So the moon here can bring a very disciplined approach to the things that you're learning, like your educational pursuits. Like, this is a person that was like a scholar in school, and you probably got like, you're going towards your PhD and whatever have you, you know what I'm saying? Really excel at, like, if you're born with this, they probably really excelled at like long-term planning, like thinking way ahead of the game, like, and probably like live with a mansion and a white picket fence with their family right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can persevere through anything. But if it's transiting, you have to be careful too, because you might be very rigid in certain things that you hear as far as your beliefs. Like, if you hear something on TikTok or Instagram, you might want to debate that. You know what I'm saying? Well, I believe this. You believe that? Well, that's not right. You know, you got to be a little bit more open-minded when it comes to that stuff. So 10th house, it rules 10th house, career, public image. This is a good thing. So, you know, super ambitious, right? Just really professional and get things done, just dedicated, to your career goals, things that you got going on. Just very motivated, successful kind of an energy, very responsible. This is the house of Saturn right here, leadership, strategic planning, and everything. The downside to this, of course, the overworking and like, let's say, for example, this is like people that were born with it in the 10th house. It's like they were supposed to be entrepreneurs. So if you had to grow up having a job, that kind of like was not it for you. That felt like probably a little bit of pressure to having you to conform to societal expectations. You know, you got to clock in. This is when you can go to the bathroom. This is when you go to lunch. This is when, you know what I mean? You probably hated that. So hopefully, you know, these are the people that end up being entrepreneurs anyways and have their own business. So, and super focused on their public image. 11th house, friendships and social networks. So 11th house, like I said, you might be forced to, if, you know, because it's all about your connections and stuff like that. You can be that person that's reliable, right? Capricorns like to be reliable. They like when people can't call on them for certain things like that. And, you know, they're always a friend that's going to be there and be very stable and loyal kind of an energy if you were born with this already, as far as in your friendships and your connections, your, you know, social groups and stuff like that. And you were probably attracted to the same people that had the same drive as you in that area, you know what I'm saying? But the negative side to that right now, especially with Sun and Gemini, you can probably, like, if your friend wanted to come talk to you about something, you're going to be so reserved, you don't want to talk about it. Or even if you have a lover or you're dating somebody, you're not going to be on the emotional kick whatsoever. You know, even like if you were born with this, you probably have good friends that you can count on one hand. You're more like secretive, or more like look for people that are like close knitted with you, and you keep them like, I got a couple of good friends and that's it. Like, you know what I mean? And that's okay with you. Like, you're fine with that. You keep a small circle. So if it's transiting this house, maybe it's kind of telling you this is where maybe you might need to open up and have some, you may have some opportunities that arise for you based on if you become social and you get out there and engage with other people and connect with others. Something good might come out of it. 12th house, this is all about spirituality and your inner world. So this placement definitely, the way you approach your inner journey, you know, working on yourself, spiritual. This is 12th house energy, or Pisces energy. So you might excel at like all the deep stuff. Here comes the astrology, human design, gene key, you know, all the metaphysics, all the esoteric things you might be really tuned and tapped and turned on to. Now you got to be careful, because you could really fall into the world in a deep rabbit hole, and you can have sensory information overload, and you can suppress your emotions because you feel like none of this is real, and you isolate yourself and you hide yourself, and you know, you won't seek any type of support. That you might even be an escape artist and go to vices and just really be disconnected. So you got to be careful. Anyways, guys, I do apologize. I do have to run. I'm going to timestamp everything when I get a minute. But thank you so much for staying tuned to Time to Turn On. I might come back in later on tonight and do like a spread for y'all, or I'll just save that for tomorrow. So thank you so much. I love all your support. Click like, follow for more, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.